everyone, it's JoJo from Mojo Jojo Plans, and today I wanted to come on and show you guys how to get some fun fonts. I always get asked, where did I get a font? 90% of the time I got it from this website. If anything that I've used that was for personal use, I have gotten it from this website. This is Dafont.com. But today I wanted to show you how to get a font, how to download it, and then how to be able to start using it in Cricut Design Space so that way you can make your own words. I like to use this for like big headers for things. I recently used it for my just in case word that I put for the notebook that I made. But this is where I come, and you guys, you can literally find any font that your heart desires. There are so many different kinds of fonts. I promise you it will get very addictive, and you'll probably end up with a ton of fonts when you are all done. But hopefully this helps you kind of just easily figure out how to get the fonts. So again, this is Dafont.com. It's right over here. All of these fonts are going to be free. However, you cannot use them for selling. So you cannot, use these fonts and then say that you're selling to other people words or their name or whatever you want. Like, you can't use it for anything where you're going to sell it. So this is only for personal use. So I just want to give that disclaimer, because I don't want anybody getting in trouble for like getting a font from here and then trying to create a product with it, because you will get in trouble. So just don't do that. But right over here, you can see it has like a lot of different things. So we have fancy, and you have cartoon, comic, groovy, curly, distorted, and then just like typewriter, initials. Like, I'm curious what the initials one is. Then you have foreign look, we have techno, you have gothic, basic, script. Script is probably where I live because I love a good script font. But if you're wanting something a little bit more fun, there are just a lot of different categories, and you're going to be able to find really, really fun fonts. So let's look in script, because I feel like script is probably what I look for the most. I'm going to click on calligraphy, and you can go down and you can see what all the fonts look like. Some of them have special instructions to do these fun little things, but all of these you can download onto your computer and then use them in different things like Word, or whatever Apple products use. I'm not an Apple user, so I have no clue. But there are just like, oh, that one's really pretty. I kind of want this one. Okay, so that one's tempting. Also, up here, ooh, even this like hello. I feel like I've seen this font, and I might even have this font. But this one's really cool, and sometimes it'll be like you have to add like a space bar before the word and a space bar after. So some of them will have special instructions, so we'll take a look at that in a second. But if you go up here, it says preview. You can type a text, so you can type a word. That way you can see exactly what that font's gonna look like. So these are some that I've apparently tried to look at, but I'm going to do that, and it might change. Okay, good. I was like, is it going to change the fonts that I already have? So I really like how this movies looks in this font. Some of them have some weird names that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Even this one looks really fun. But this way you can see exactly what a font looks like. Maybe you want to see what your name looks like in a font. So let's just try a name. Mine's going to be so short, so I'm so sorry. But you could do this, and you can see like, ooh, I want to put this in my planner, and I want that to be my name, or, you want to use that for a sticker. I'm trying to think of another. Let's think of a two-word, even like to-dos. To-dos. I feel like that's like a common one. And then this way you can see what that kind of looks like. I really like this font. I think this font's going to be the font that I get today. You guys, I'm telling you, this is addictive. This website, even this one looks really fun. This website is so much fun. So if you're ever looking, like, look at 227. Like, you can literally just go through and go to town. I really like how this one looks. So I'm going to go over here to download, and I'm going to click download. It's going to go to download that. Mine's wanting to open it as a zip file. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that transferred out of a zip. Okay, so I have that one downloaded onto my computer. Now, let's look at, I want to look at something like a little bit more fun. There's some holiday fonts over here. Let's click on Valentine's. I know that we're not on Valentine's, but I just want to show you, just for the sake of showing you how fun this website is. But look at this. Like, this one is so fun. There are some really fun fonts in here. Some will just be like little icons. So if you're literally just needing icons for something, that could be fun. But this is under the Valentine's. Some of those are a lot of fun. And these are the names of them. So if you see one you like, where was that one? This one. There we go. Let's see what Halloween looks like because I'm curious. You know. So this is just a really fun website. Again, all of these are free. They're just for personal use. So just, you know, again, don't go using them and then trying to sell something. Even Christmas. Like, again, this just gives you a bunch of icons. So if you're looking for little icons, that's really fun. Some with snow on them, kind of like a candy cane vibe. Ooh, that one's kind of fun. I actually kind of like that one. That'd be fun to do some things with. I want to know, which one was I like? I want to know what that looks like. Let's look at retro. Okay, it's a little bolder, different looks. So you can literally find, I'm sure if you don't even know what the kind of font you're looking for, you'll find a fun one on here. It's just so fun to look at the different fonts. You even have medieval. There's literally so many. What about handwritten? Just so fun. But this is a great font. I've probably downloaded over 100 fonts on this website and just use them just for personal use and for fun. But there are definitely a lot of fun things that you can do with this. Now let's see, how do you get this onto your computer? So actually what you're going to do is you're going to open up your files. I do have my Cricut design space open as well, but you're going to open your files and I'm going to go to the file that says the font name and I'm going to click on it. Now there's like different things. I think this PNG just shows you what the font looks like, which it opened on my other screen. So this is like the font that I downloaded. So that PNG, we don't need that. I don't really think you need this one. This one's the only one. The OTF version is what we want. So you're going to click that open and then you're going to get this thing and it's going to show you all of the letters in there and you're going to click install. You could print this out, especially if you need to keep track of all the fonts you get, which honestly I kind of wish I did that. A long time ago I made like a random Word document that I put all of the fonts in, but I don't remember what I titled it. So, and I definitely haven't updated it in a hot minute, but that would be a really good way to either print this or make a Word document and then you do all of the fonts in that document. That way you know exactly what font you have already, but that is a really good way. But you're just going to click install and it's just going to install onto your computer. And then now you just really need to remember the name of the font. So I'm going to leave this up because I'm not going to remember that. And I'm going to go to my design space. Now in your design space, you're going to be able to click on text and you're going to go up to your fonts. I have a couple fonts that I use quite a bit bookmarked, but we're going to go in here. Sometimes you might need to like exit out of any files that you might have already open because sometimes the fonts won't automatically show up, but I'm just going to hope and pray that it did. Let's see, we're looking for an MU. Okay, yeah, so this didn't show up, so I'm actually going to exit out of my Cricut design space. Okay, Cricut design space literally just took its sweet time reopening. I love how I literally just had it opened and then closed it, and then when I opened it again, it was like, oh, you need to update. I'm like, why are we doing this right now? But anyway, so I opened a new one, so hopefully the new font that I just downloaded is showing up in here. So again, I'm going to go over where it says fonts, and I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go to system. Now I could just type this in rather than just scrolling, and there is the new font that I just downloaded. So I'm actually going to bookmark that and then we're going to click on it, and then there is my font. Boom, right there. That's the font that I just downloaded. Now this is in cut form, as in like if I were cutting vinyl, this would cut out. And I don't know if you can see, but you see these lines right here. If I were to cut this just like that, it's going to cut these out as individual letters. So the first thing you would need to do if you were wanting to use this font to cut on vinyl is you would need to combine and unite. So right over here it says unite, and then you can see those lines have gone away. Now it'll cut this cursive font all together. If you don't do that, and that's with any cursive font, anything where the letters are touching, you need to make sure you go over to combine and then click unite, and then it'll get rid of those lines, and that'll mean once it cuts together, it'll cut that whole word together. Now, I do not want to cut this on vinyl. I actually want to cut this on paper. Obviously, I'm not going to cut the word text. I'll change that in a minute. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to operation, and it says basic cut. I'm going to go down to print then cut. So I'm going to click that, and you can see the font kind of changed the look a little bit. And I'm actually going to go change the color to black because right now it is not black. And if I were to print that out, I would not be happy because it wouldn't be the color that I was wanting. What's a word I'm wanting to do? Let's just do my name. I just want to see what my name looks like in this font. So this is what this name is going to look like in this font. I'm actually going to do another one. And then let's change this to movies. Now, something you have to keep in mind, every time I copy and paste, it switches it back to a basic cut. So you need to go back up and change it to print and cut, and then you need to go and change the color of it. Again, you can change to any color you want, really. You know, you can get advanced and you can pick from the color wheel kind of thing, and you can go, you know, you can go crazy. I just like doing simple old black. Now, you could very well cut this out this way. And another thing is you do not need to do the whole combine thing when you're going to do a print and cut. It's automatically just going to do that with that. However, if I were to cut this out as a sticker on sticker paper, it's going to cut really close to this, and it's going to make it really hard. This is not going to peel up as one sticker, and that's what I like to have. So we have to add an offset to it. Now, Cricut Design Space does have this button over here that says create a sticker that gives you the offset, blah, 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 but you do have to have the subscription to Cricut Design Space, which I do not have. So I always just use this offset button that's right next to it. I'm going to click on that, and then you're going to see this blue line pop up around my words. And I'm like, great. Sometimes there'll be these little things in here that you might not want. It just kind of depends. You can make it smaller if you don't want your outline to be that big. Anytime I have a word where I can't get those two blue lines to meet, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I want this to come up as one single sticker. You can go even bigger if you want to get rid of some of these extra lines. I know some people have said they've been able to go and contour and get rid of these, but every time I've tried, it doesn't work. So I usually just go with this. Honestly, if this little piece cuts out, I don't really mind because I usually print on either clear sticker paper or white paper, and it doesn't really bother me, but I think that's good. So sometimes I'll just play with this slider to see, I mean, if you really want to go really big and you don't want to worry about those extra holes, sometimes I'll just play with this to see like how small I can get before I start seeing holes where I don't want them to be. So right about there, I have one little hole there. So I'm going to click apply. Now the color is not the color that we want. It's gray. If I were to actually print this off on a piece of paper, this would 100% print just like this is looking. We don't want that, so I'm going to go back over to the color, and I'm going to change that to white. White doesn't print on paper, regardless if you're doing it on clear or paper, like regular white paper. It doesn't print on paper, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to click this. Yeah, see, for some reason, like my contour never comes up. I know some people say they contour it out, but mine doesn't work. So you want to make sure you have both of those selected. So I have my word and I have the offset that I just made. Then I'm going to go over to the word flatten, and I'm going to flatten those together. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure my Cricut doesn't cut the inside of the word and the outside, because if you forget to do that step, that's exactly what your Cricut will do. It'll cut inside this word, and then it'll also cut the outside, so then when you go to peel up the sticker, it's not going to be a regular sticker. Let me change the background of my workspace so you can kind of see what we're working with here. All right, so you can see that tiny little hole. Again, that doesn't really bother me, so I'm going to leave it how it is, and then from there you can just size it. And the nice thing is it automatically groups them together when you flatten the two pieces together. So again, doing the same exact thing, I am gonna click the offset, and sometimes you have to move this to where you can see because that offset thing gets in the way. So that's what it'll look like. I have a pretty big hole there, but that doesn't really bother me. So I'm going to click apply. Again, that background is not the color that I want. I'm going to change it to white. I'm going to make sure both the word and the offset are selected, and you can see that both of them are selected over here. And then I'm just going to click flatten, and then there we go. And then from there, you can just make the words as big, as small as you want. So this is the font that we just downloaded on Dafont.com right over here. I'm curious to see if there's like a different looking font. Let's look at a font that might not be, that's not connected, where the words don't connect. Ooh, this one's like a varsity one, and I bet you it's like when you use uppercase letters and lowercase. I kind of want to try this one. So I'm going to download this varsity. Again, I gotta unzip it. Alright, once that's done, go over to my downloads, find it. Sometimes they'll have extra things. I always just look for whatever this icon looks like. I don't know. It always pulls it up for me, and then that's what it's gonna look like. It looks like every time you do a capital letter, that's when you're going to get the fun, like outline varsity look. So again, install. Okay, so once again, I did have to close out my Cricut design space in order to get this one to pull up. So we're gonna look. I'm not spelling it right. That's the issue. I'm like, I'm just failing. Okay, again, I'm gonna bookmark it so that way it saves it. Okay, so here's my new text. This is the one that I just downloaded. Again, this is something too, you want to make sure you go and download all the things you want, get them on your computer, and then open Cricut Design Space. Don't be in the middle of a project. Just make sure you're going to save if you're going to do it that way. But again, it looks like if I do capital letters, then it's going to automatically do that. And then if I do lowercase letters, it doesn't go around it. I like the look of the capitalized letters. I think that looks like fun. So right now, this is a basic cut. So I could do this for like a jersey, and you can make your own jersey, and you can cut this out on like vinyl, iron on like vinyl. And then you can have like, so you can make your own things. This actually will be really fun. I always make Nate a shirt every year for her birthday. So now that I have this font, I feel like that'll be really fun. But I am going to go over to print then cut. So that way I make sure this is a print then cut. And then we're going to turn this into a sticker. So once again, I do need to add an offset to it. I just want it to be all one word. So I just want to make sure this is connected enough to print. So when I pull it off of a sticker sheet, you know, it all comes up in one piece. So I'm going to do just like that. And hold on, let me change my background again because it's hard to see. We're going to grab that offset. I'm going to change it back to white. Make sure I grab both of those two things, and if they're not both highlighted, then you know that you don't have them both. And then I'm going to go over to flatten, and then now it's one sticker, so if I click wherever, it's going to grab both things. And then now when this cuts out, it'll only cut around, and it'll cut these little circles inside of here out because there's not anything. Now if you do want to cover those up, another thing that you can do, and I think I learned this from somebody on YouTube, I don't remember, but you can take like a little shape and you can just make it the size of the hole that you have in there. I'm actually going to make 2 of these. You can make it the size of the hole. Right now they're basic cut. You need to make sure you change them to print then cut, and then change them to the color. Do the same thing over here, print then cut, change it to the color, and I'm going to click both of those, and then I'm actually going to go over to arrange, and I'm going to send them all the way to the back, and then I'm going to grab everything and I'm going to click flatten again. And then that gets rid of those little holes that would have cut there, and now it'll just cut all the way around this whole thing, and it'll be one sticker, and I don't have to worry about those little holes being cut out, especially if you're doing this teeny tiny. You don't want little holes being cut out, because that's when your Cricut's probably going to mess up your paper. I could have done that over here. You can use a circle. Really, it's just about finding a shape that's close to what you need to cover up a hole, and then you just need to make sure that you change it to the same color as your offset, and then that'll clear that whole thing up. So that is how to download a font and then get it over into your Cricut design space. Again, if you have things like Microsoft Word, again, I don't know, Pages, is that what Apple products have? I don't remember. But once you do that, you should be able to use these fonts in those things. So hopefully this helps. One of my patrons did ask for this video on just like how to get the fonts from Dafont.com onto your Cricut design space. So hopefully this kind of helps you a little bit figure that out. Play around. You could even like, ooh, these two fonts together could be really fun. You can even turn, okay, hold on. Now I'm like, I want to try something because I actually really like these two fonts together. Okay, so I'm going to take this font and I'm going to say, let's have this one be Movies, just really quick. You can do two different fonts together and make it all one sticker. So let me just see here. Okay, I'm going to do that one, and then we're going to go get our other new font, which that one was this Muthiara. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay, and then I'm going to say Favorite. Okay, so right now these are not in the right format, so I need to go and make sure that they are print then cut. Same thing over here, print then cut, and then I need to change them to the color I actually want them to be. There we go. And now I'm going to actually, so if I want these to kind of like layer a little bit, or to make like one big sticker, I'm thinking like right about, let me make this a little smaller, be like right about there, right there. That's good. Okay, then you're going to grab both of them. You're going to go up to offset, and it's going to bring that offset. It's really hard to see with this background. Hold on. I chose the wrong color. You cannot see that blue at all. I feel like yellow is not helpful either. Okay, let's try a lighter purple. Okay, so selecting both of those. Okay, now you can kind of see that line. Now you're seeing this offset is going all the way around both of those words because I have both of them selected. I am going to just make this bigger for now because I don't want to go through and add a bunch of things. But now I have both my words, and now you can make one giant sticker. And then we change that again, select everything. So I should have three things because I have two words and then my offset, and then flatten it, and it'll make it one nice big sticker. So when my Cricut cuts this out, it'll only cut around this. Again, if you don't want the offset to be that big, you can make it smaller and then use your shapes to fill in some of those holes that would have been left in there. But you can combine different fonts together to kind of make a fun looking word. But there we go. Hopefully this helps you on how to use Dafont.com. It's really easy. I haven't had any issues with it. I do really like this website, and there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of different fonts that you can get. Look, this one's just like all icons. Oh, was that an icons? Oh, maybe that's what Dingbats is. These are just like icon things. Oh, there's just like so many different things, like different smiley faces. If you're looking for those things, there's just so many different fonts. Like, you could literally get lost on this website. So hopefully this helps you kind of navigate that and then figure out how to get it over onto your Cricut design space and turn it into a sticker. From there, you would just follow the other steps of adding in your paper to your printer and having your Cricut cut it out for you. Or you don't even have to have a Cricut. If you don't have a design space, you could do similar steps to this in a regular program, and then you can hand cut them out yourselves. You just wouldn't have to make the offset because it would just be on you to figure out how you want to cut them out. But you could definitely do it that way as well. But hopefully this is helpful to you guys. I still hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. Bye!